dash. So my question is, with all of this engage from Inertia, are we going to see that wrapped around or just pushed away by Key Club? That's what I'm saying. I want to see a counter engage kind of rather than just a straight up runaway.
Yeah, they're both kind of semi-engage comps. Both teams have a lot of ways to just jump on your enemy and start fights on that. The difference I feel is Inertia has a longer way to engage, like we mentioned with the global ultimate from Ashe, the fact that Rengar can invis and then jump in. You have the Sion ult where nobody can outrun an ulting Sion, and then Ahri can dash in with her ultimate. Where the side of Key Club, I feel like they have a shorter range to get that engage going on to make that thing happen. Even though Vi, of course, can cover some distance, Lissandra can as well. I feel like it'll come down to Annie a bit more. It's going to be who's getting the better engage off. And I feel like Inertia Gaming has a longer range to sort that engage out. But if they're up close and personal, the side of Keys Club could be pretty strong, like you mentioned. They have a lot of ways to lock down the priority targets of the side of Inertia Gaming and just blow them up initially.
Whether we see it get to that point is another question, though. With all of the ward control that we've seen teams like Inertia or McMasters put out tonight, I wonder if we're even going to see that option come out. Because when you have vision so far into the enemy jungle, I mean, how difficult is it for Rengar to just jump onto whoever he pleases? It could be Vi, it could be Graves, it could be anyone he wants, and it's just scary. And I think that we need to see a ward killing game come out for Key Club. They need to control the vision against them to keep themselves alive. I think that is the biggest issue here, because you're right, when it comes down to range, Inertia have a clear lead here. Or some kind of party is happening in mid lane. I don't know what. It's not a dance party, it's more of
A little back party there.
a go back party.
Senpai RL though, he actually opted to take Pool first, which I don't like. I don't like taking Pool first to Morgana, but it did earn him a few pretty pennies there from his Spell Thief's Edge, proccing, I believe it was all three actually, of the ticks there, getting some early gold. But I personally prefer taking Q and E so when you're level 2, you have both your offensive to keep him down, as well as your E to keep your team safe there. But I think he's not too worried about the E initially, because Janna and Graves aren't really going to be doing anything that's super potent in terms of CC that need to Black Shield away.
And actually, you're right. Mentioning that Tormented Soil isn't really the best option. Usually, you'd see it coming down from. And the reason you'd see it picked up is because you'd see a pickup on the Krugs if you're on blue side, or Gromp if you're on red. But it doesn't look like Inertia's going to do that this game. They're not going to use that. They're not going to go for that early level 2. And instead, Ashe is just going to get into lane right away. And once again, oh my gosh, Inertia Senpai once again taking the jungle camps. And then going to teleport to lane. Level 2, and with the red buff too. My
Yeah,
gosh, that's going to be difficult.
Inertia's done such a good job of getting those early wards in at level 1, making sure they know exactly where the enemy jungler is, so they can have Sion start and steal their buff, and start with a 3 buff. You get 2 for Rengar, and then 1 for Sion in the top lane, and this is going to work out better for Sion this time, because they were able to steal the enemy's red buff, which is going to be way better for him in lane than that blue buff was in the game we saw prior.
You know, I don't know about that, because the thing is, how often are we going to see Lissandra be in melee range? The first game that we saw Sion picked up for Inertia Senpai, he leveled up his shout first just because he had a good amount of ranged harass with it. And I figured we might see that come out again. But with this red buff stuff start, maybe you're right. Maybe we'll see more of a melee brawl going on this time. But it's going to be very difficult against someone like Lissandra. Look at how already, even though he is 2 levels up on her, she's able to harass him down consistently with those ice shards.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken though, I believe having the red buff nowadays does actually give you extended health regen there as well, and that's what I feel like is going to be the big thing for Sion there, is he's got the Crystalline Flask as well as a bunch of health pots. He's got Sustain forever. He can literally stay in lane as long as he wants against this Lissandra, who started with the Doran's Ring, which is sure is going to be nice early, and that's what I would have started as well, but it's not going to give her the same amount of sustain as Sion's going to have here with that red buff, able to shoot those E's out and throw the minions back all day long. and just push her in lane here, which I think is gonna be rough for Lissandra early. Whoa.
Whoa, the Ignite is burning on LOL Dota, but it doesn't look like he's going to go down this time. Meanwhile, the exhaust trade across field as well, but both AD carries sitting at a very precarious spot. In a situation like this, it's going to be up to who can get off that burst damage first. Is it going to be the volley or the buckshot? And
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. Graves still has flash. He's got quick draw. He could go in here, no problem. And that black shield isn't going to prevent any of that buckshot damage to the face. It's just a matter of time at the moment, and I think Evan RL knows this as well.
Yeah, they have to be super safe when trading there with the poke. Pretty much whichever one gets the first trade, they can engage on top of that. Like you said, the dash and the buckshot there from Graves is more potent in an actual burst, but the W there, the volley there from Evan RL on Ashe, is going to be better for actually poking down in range. So if he can hit those safely, then they can make a play. But unless he can actually hit some volley poke beforehand, he's just going to have to sit in the back for right now in fear of that EQ combo from Graves.
I mean, Biku's able to go up on Janna as well, get down these slows, get down the knock-up as well. Not much of a retaliation, just because Senpai RL wants to make sure that the Dark Binding is saved, just in case LOL Dota does go in on Graves. But it's very strange on bot lane. It's very, very intense as well, because one small mistake from either AD carry could result in death at this point.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're both in a situation where they have to tread
There's
lightly.
the slow, there it is! The clutch heal, but Evan RL is still breathing. Schleppy is coming in from the back, looking to get a Volt Breaker, but Senpai RL is out of range, and neither AD carry actually going to die, but it was incredibly close, and both Summoner spells having to be burned on Evan RL. That could be very advantageous to the Key Club bot lane.
A Morgan on low health here in top lane, but yeah, Schleppy there, or Schleppy rather. See if he can dice with a dive.
They're going for it. Oh, good job with the Glacial Path. Inertia Senpai gonna get taken down with the tower shot. First blood over to Amor on Lissandra, and he can't even pick up the kill on her with that passive. Meanwhile, on bot lane, Key Club going to take the dragon away too. Rengar is incredibly strong, but early on definitely has some key weaknesses, and one of them is he doesn't have the power, the control to kind of just go around wherever he wants, and because of that, we're going to see Dragon given up over to Key Club, and that's a brilliant take-up, especially at only around 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, really smart there. So on top of the fact that, of course, like you said, there was no Rengar to contest and stuff like that. In the top lane there, when you've got your Sion on the enemy team diving your top laner on your team, Lissandra there, you know there's going to be no teleport coming in because he's just going to die if he walks right in there. So really nice dragon take there. Really smart play by Schleppy. Unfortunately, he ganked Fruitless gank in top lane, Fruitless gank in bot lane, but they turned the bot lane into a dragon. So good job on his part. But in the top lane right there, it was over aggression by the side of INT Senpai right there. He's got a sustain build. He's got the Crystalline Flask. I say this every single time. No combat stats. So don't force a fight. You've got Lissandra on her heels. There's no reason to force the kill there. Just, oh, here's Sion mid.
Whoa, he's heading for it, but it's going to miss. That flash going to keep Ballsy nice and safe here. And even Hat Senpai going to use his ulti here. It could still be a kill, but he's opting to back out. And that's really unfortunate. When you blow 2 ultimates, trying to get something, 3 actually, if you include Dash Senpai's as well, trying to pick up something, and Ballsy still has Tibbers ready to go in case he wants to go back in. So this could be very bad for Dash Senpai, although maybe even worse on bottom. Dark Binding onto LOL Dota. He's being taken down incredibly low, but Senpai RL going to get taken down with 1 auto attack from Biku, but it's going to be Evan RL to pick up the kill onto Graves. He's fairly low, but he is confident in his ability to take on Biku. Going to back out now, and that's going to be a solid chunk of farm in his favor after that engage.
Oh, here comes Janna.
Oh, it's not even done! The auto attacks are so strong! Biku gonna pick up her 2nd kill in the bot lane. Now 2-0. Support Graves is apparently the new meta. My gosh.
Yeah, that was crazy. BQ just saying, you know what, screw this, I'm going in. I don't care if I am support. Supports nowadays are pretty darn strong, especially when the enemy AD carry you're facing hasn't bought all their items yet, was sitting on just a pickaxe, so it's decent for this point in the game. But when Evan RL is that low and has no one else to kind of play off of, unfortunately, Janna just 1v1s him in the bot lane right there. And that would have been a really good trade because they traded 1-for-1, and Ashe got the kill, so Evan RL would have been way ahead of his opposing opponent there, Graves, because Janna, of course, picked up those kills, so it was a good trade actually for Inertia, but by trading back that kill there, 2-0 Janna, she's got a Sightstone now over the enemy in Morgana there in his lane.
And that's going to be fairly advantageous. You want to have that Sightstone as fast as possible on the bot lane, just because it stops the rest of the gold command. My gosh, Lol Dota does not know when to quit. He is still going and abusing the fact that he is level 6. And if we see that RL bot lane stick around for too long, they are going to get some collateral damage right in the face. Once they hit level 6, though, we could see a very strong turnaround. Where's that arrow?
Ahri's roaming.
She's catching out Biku here. The shield is down, but how much is it really going to protect her? Dark Binding is out. Soul Shackles as well. My gosh, they want to end this kill streak. And there's the kill going over to Dash Senpai. I think they were actually trying to give it over to Evan RL, but Foxfire had other things in mind.
Yeah, they to be honest, they didn't play that well at all. They did pick up the kill, but if they hadn't picked up the kill, you'd say what? But yeah, like you said, I think they wanted to hand over the kill to Evan RL there, but at that point they were just like, screw it, just kill her, just get her down. A bunch of missed skill shots, unfortunately, there from Dash Pie. But they do pick up the kill to get Ahri a bit back in this game, but here comes Vi.
Ooh, using that ultimate, but meanwhile on bottom, another ultimate being dragged out as well. Lol Dota is so low. Are they actually going for it? And the answer is no. Morgana and Ashe are not too tanky, and it looks like this is going to be a kill onto Evan RL. 2 ultimates being dropped down. Schluppy has already used his ultimate. Glacial Path being used, though, and Amur going to miss! The flash forced to burn, but that is going to be the double kill for Key Club. My gosh, that was close though. Oh gosh, missing that ice shard. Amur's, I mean, I think everyone in the game was kind of just like, what? No one expected that to miss.
Yeah, and actually the thing was, is Amor Lissandra there actually burned Flash unnecessarily to try and get the kill on Evan RL, which Annie had that locked down. There's no way he's going to get out of that Tibbers stun right there. Just throw a Q and you'll be good to go. Instead she flashes forward to secure the kill, make sure that she gets it. And make sure that the enemy AD carry dies, which is normally the right idea, but then she doesn't have the flash to make plays like there at the end. And then Schluppy has to burn his flash, so unfortunately 2 flashes down, so they could have been a little bit cleaner. But really, really, really smart rotation, good teleport, and they pick up a couple kills on Inertia Gaming here early.
Yeah, it looks like Inertia Senpai should be able to pick up this tower, although maybe not. A good block by Schluppy is going to keep him in place with no mana. It seems like he's got no chance for escape, and that's going to be another kill for Amor, who is now 2-0-2. Although he is down on farm, those kills and that pressure he's providing all across the map is incredibly valuable to Key Club.
Really good play there by Schluppy to get in front of the ulting Scion to make sure that his ult was about 2 inches, and then he just kind of stopped to make sure he could not get away. Senpai, or INT Senpai, I guess to be more specific, because there's a million Senpais in this game. INT Senpai in the top lane there, Scion holds onto his flash because he knows he was going to die. He'll have it up for next time there's some sort of a fight, which is the smart thing to do. Cut your losses and save your spells for next time.
He is 0-3 at the moment, though, which
one
is
of those deaths though was a jungle camp. To be fair,
that is true. It kind of ticked in my head as soon as I was like, oh wait, no, one of those was to red.
It's kind of like the equivalent of when they show the turret kill there for the Azir passive for the turrets, and you're like, oh no, they're tied in turrets, but you're like, no, that was Azir.
Oh no.
Oh,
whoa, Ballsy, definitely living up to his name here, dropping the Tibbers. Senpai going to be first, forced to flash out, but a beautiful bait. There's the stun coming out. Tibbers is doing what he can, but now a teleport as the rest of the team comes in to fight. Amor is going to pick up the kill onto Ahri, but that's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange, possibly a 2-for-1, as Amor maybe pick up the second. Where is it? Oh, so close! Oh, the Ice Shards picking it up at the last second, ending in a 2-for-2 exchange that I can't help but feel was a little bit unnecessary, especially on the part of Hat Senpai, who didn't necessarily have to go back in.
Yeah, there was a little bit of over-aggression and kind of greediness on either side there, to be honest. I wanna say just real quick, the best thing that from that whole fight was the very beginning of it, when Hat Pie was running away as Rengar, and he ults to go invisible and then flashes over the wall, which Ballsy does not see, and he flashes forward into the bush, thinking Rengar is running straight forward. That was hilarious to me. Even though Ballsy, normally that's kind of the right idea, just a great play from Hat Pie out there, being super tricky, going invis and then flashing over the wall instantly. Ballsy burns a flash for no reason there, unfortunately. Cool play there from each side.
That was a fantastic way. It kind of reminds me. I forget who was playing, but I believe it was at Worlds where you saw the same kind of thing go on between a Fizz and a Rise, where Rise mispredicted where Fizz would land, and overextended